All right, the very under-advertised Bikeriders. Have I been looking forward to this movie at all? You know it. But I don't show you everything I do in the world. That would be ridiculous. You might have noticed a few clues though, like the quad lock on the back of the phone. I love riding my bike. What bike do I ride? I'll tell you later at the end of this video. For now, we got a movie to review here. And I don't know why with this jacket, but this zipper is perfectly fine. It's all hidden by this. This doesn't do that, so it's just, it might drive you slowly mad while watching this video. Makes you feel any better. It now dawns on me there's not just your problem. I'm gonna have to stare at that the entire time editing this. So I guess we're all gonna go slightly mad. Just to make you feel a little better about it, here's a close-up of it. Enjoy the dead bugs splattered on my jacket. I gotta clean this thing. So the Bikeriders stars Tom Hardy, Austin Butler, Jodie Comer. It's based off of a book that's essentially a photojournal, as I understand it. Back in the 60s to the early 70s, this photojournalist was taking pictures of this motorcycle club during their formation, interviewing the members, living in it, feeling it, understanding it. He made a book called The Bikeriders. This is based off of that. And it really is essentially a love triangle of sorts. Not in the way you think about it when I say love triangle. Austin Butler's this young, roguish, hotshot member of this club. He meets Jodie Comer's character, so it's their romance. It's their love for each other and Austin Butler's love for writing, for the club. Personified with Tom Hardy's character because he's the president of this club. And as the club expands, it starts bringing douchier personalities into it. He starts losing the purity of the love that started it in the first place. And first of all, I thought everyone was great in the movie. You know they're gonna be because I listed the names. Tom Hardy with yet another American accent that kinda does sound like Tom Hardy from Venom. I know one's Chicago, one's New York. Somehow that's gonna piss someone off, but I didn't do the voice. Speaking of similar voices, Austin Butler, yep. He's got his Austin Butler voice, his new one since Elvis. You know why he's perfect in this movie? Is because his character he does come across as an emotionally closed off person. You get the feeling the one thing that brings him a feeling of freedom and catharsis is writing. Point is, once again, his performance is built on the smolder. But Jodie Comer I thought was great because she is in large part the audience. She's the outsider who knows nothing of this bike culture world. She's brought into this world of bikes, and it's not just her being brought into it, it's part of the love story. You genuinely do get the feeling that as her love for Austin Butler grows, this could have been such a cliche-ass romance. I didn't see it that way. Could have been guy in a bike club, falls in love with a girl, who starts falling in love with him, and yep, okay. So this guy in a bike club has a girlfriend who doesn't like the bike club. And although that is in there, it is her being brought into the bike culture. At a point, you kind of get the feeling that she's like, I get why you love this. Which is a rarity in the dating world. I don't know that I have experienced that, dating someone who's been like, I don't like the shit you like, but I truly understand why you love it. And Tom Hardy as this father figure who started this club for the purest of intentions, in which the club starts to devolve, but he's still a sympathetic character even when he does things that are more hardcore. I thought that was complex. I had fun with the guest appearances too. I call them guest appearances because that's what they kind of felt like. When you see Norman Reedus pop onto here, as if it took me a second, I was like, the fucking Norman Reedus? Like someone came up with a character that was a cross between Anxiety from Inside Out 2 and Norman Reedus to be played by Norman Reedus. But okay, the bikes, baby, the bikes. I love the fact that this, you know what? I gotta give props. Jeff Nichols, writer-director Jeff Nichols. I'm glad we have these directors like Jeff Nichols, George Miller, who know that when you throw cylinders and engines, and it's a cultural part of the entire experience, they know the sound design needs to crush it. And it does in here. Because riding a bike's not just riding the bike. You're not just coasting through the air. It's not just the wind. It's the feel of the engine. If you're gonna make a movie like this that is about biker culture, you need to put that subwoofer behind the movie theater screen to work, baby. And he does. Now this movie does cover what I feel is a lot of time. And the contrast between how much time passes and how much time you actually feel passing, it's actually a starker contrast in here more than most films. A lot of time I just felt lost as to how much time was supposed to pass. It feels like this movie takes place in the course of about a month. I mean, this photographer was following this club through the 60s. We're talking years. Missed the mark on that. And for a while in this movie, I felt like the point was very much hidden. I can't help but think that might have been the point. Like this movie's treating the journey more important than the destination, which is how it is to ride a bike. Destination does not matter. That comes second to the fact that you're on the bike riding. Where you're going, whatever. Or I'm just seeing what I want to see. You know, there is that probability. Another thing I liked about this movie is it's not too over the top, you know? It's not an action film. This is not an action film using motorcycles and motorcycle riders as action stars. This is a film that I feel makes a very earnest attempt to show a grounded peek behind the curtain for motorcycle culture. And when I think to myself, who is this movie made for? I can't help but think it's made for people with an already existing love for riding, motorcycle culture, and clubs. Or at the very least, a curiosity. And if you have that curiosity, you might watch this movie and that might nurture that curiosity. But it feels like a movie where if you don't give a shit about motorcycles, the culture, or riding at all, you might not find much here for you. And I think that is a very fair warning. I dug the culture, as well as the sound design when it came to those bikes. It's a little messy here and there in terms of illustration of the plot, passage of time, but the performances were solid and it all came together for an experience in which I had a good time. No alcohol required. And so, what bike do I ride? I ride a Kawasaki Ninja 1000 SX. Learned on a 650, upgraded to the 1000. I'm constantly looking for it. I'm always on Cycle Trader and other websites just looking at motorcycles. But a long distance cruiser to go, you know, across state lines. It's like, hey, it's a nice day out. I'm gonna go down the coast. Because that's a dream right there. Like the Black Pearl herself, that is freedom. But I bounce around, you know, the Yamaha Raiders caught my interest. The Harley Fat Boy, the S in particular. I love Victory motorcycles. The Victory Vegas 8-ball is, quite frankly, a work of art. Though Victory is no more, but still. Anyhow, I'm always looking. The last note I'll leave you with is summer is here. The nice weather is out, which means a lot of us are going to be riding a lot more. So ride safely, my friends. All right, so the Bikeriders, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what bike do you ride, if you ride? And if you don't, are you interested? Are you curious? Have you looked into it? Or what bike do you want to ride? So many questions about bikes. Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.